Thank you for tuning in to the first episode of the Wheels Up Wednesday podcast. My name is Spencer Hill. If you don't know me, I'm a local race car driver from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I've been racing since I was 8 years old, and this year I'll be running some micro sprint stuff and some sprint car action all across the Southwest and hopefully a little bit further out here later on the year. Alongside me is one of my best friends, Matt Omick. Matt, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Matt Omick. I'm also from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I'm going to college right now and doing a little small business on the side, and thought this would be a fun thing to do.
Yeah, really not quite sure why I decided to do a podcast. Yeah. Definitely not the smartest thing to do with all I have on my slate.
Yeah, exactly. Our busy schedules.
Yeah, but, screw it.
Why not, right? See where it takes us.
Gotta try it out, right?
Yeah.
So, for everyone that doesn't know, me and Mick, we met back in, what was it? Woodshop. Freshman year of high school, huh?
Yeah, freshman. Yeah,
a little while ago now.
Year. Yeah. We did a lot of screwing around, that's for sure. Breaking wood.
Oh yeah, woodshop class was the place to be back then.
Yeah, it was.
Man.
Ever since we've been doing some dumb stuff with the Camry, Jetta, I don't know.
The Jetta. That's one thing that I miss a lot.
Any chance or bad idea we get, we're all for it. 100%.
Oh yeah. Man, some of the best times I had were in that Jetta. Yep. Between me, you, Jason, Dong, Cody, Jacob. Man, that Jetta, we put it through hell.
Definitely memories I will never forget.
That was a good one. What year was that Jetta?
95, I think.
It was a 95 Jetta.
It was a green 1995 Jetta.
Burnt green.
It was a 5-speed, little 2-liter. That thing was a hunk of shit.
That was a pile of shit.
Yeah, it was.
I tell you what,
but she ran. She ran like a champ.
She did run like a champ, and those things put the best memories forward. I swear.
It was the best $200 I ever spent.
Oh, I know. And luckily, I didn't even have to pay for it. I just got to enjoy the benefits.
You got the best
of fucking ramping this shit.
Oh yeah.
And doing all kinds of cool stuff.
We'll definitely have to edit some videos of that into the podcast.
Yeah, man, that was a good car. That goes to show.
Flying.
If anybody does one thing in their life, they need to get a beater for at least 3 months.
Buy a beater
and just go run the shit out of it with your friends. That's gonna last forever. Those memories will.
And believe it or not, you could resell it for more money than you bought it for.
That's the best part of the whole thing.
Yep.
All right, Mick. Well, let's get into a little bit of the racing portion. Really, this podcast, it's a lifestyle podcast, but it's with a racing twist.
Right.
What do you want out of this podcast, and what don't you want?
Well, I don't necessarily don't want anything. Why don't we fill in the viewers on what they don't know about racing as far as current events? Maybe they missed last weekend's race, and they're now viewing this, and they can figure out either who won or kind of who finished in the top 5, or if there's any big fights. Who knows? Anything happens in racing, so...
Yeah, the cool thing about, owning all your own equipment for a podcast is really you can talk about whatever you want. So
jump on any time.
It doesn't matter what we talk about as long as we just
let me ask
funny.
you, let's fill the viewers in on when you started racing.
Oh, yeah. So, I've always liked racing.
Right.
Ever since I can remember. Even as a little kid, I was always watching it on TV. I was always playing with my diecast. I still play with diecast. I ain't
Some
gonna lie.
things never change.
And it's just something that I always lived for. And I always saw people like, Bobby Labonte, Mark Martin. And I was like, how can I be those people? I just thought it was the coolest thing in the world. Let
me stop you. Quick question. Who's your favorite driver of all time?
All time, I gotta give it to my first favorite driver ever, and that was Bobby Labonte. There's something about seeing that green 18 car up front.
That was you. That's your number.
That just made me so extremely happy.
Yeah.
And not that he was, a on fire driver or anything. Of course, he's the 2000 champion, so he was definitely good in his prime. But he wasn't a Dale Earnhardt or a Jimmy Johnson or Jeff Gordon or a Richard Petty, but he was just someone that I really connected with.
I would say maybe an underdog for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure an underdog. But it was something that I always connected with, and I always really respected the way he conducted his interviews, fans. I've met him a couple times, and he's been really kind each time. So that's someone that I really wanted to be.
Yeah.
And then from there, I thought, well, how do I do this? And to be honest, we didn't know. I'm the first person that ever wanted to go racing in my family. I didn't have, my grandpa ever was in it.
Your dad?
My dad, he raced bicycles.
A little bit of BMX.
It's way different than anything,
yeah,
that we would ever get with a race
with
car
an
side.
engine and 4 wheels.
And then my current crew chief, Jim, which is also my uncle, he was probably the closest thing to motorsports, and that was just racing motocross. But other than that, we really didn't have a background from racing, so it was a struggle.
Yeah.
And I started out in go-karts. One of my friends, Justin, he let me run one of his go-karts after... Yeah, Justin Gatton. Let me run one of his go-karts after one of his races, and I fell in love with it even more.
Yep.
And literally the next week, we bought a go-kart.
Really?
I
See, this
was
is something
terrible.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Learning more shit, huh?
Hey, learn something new every day.
And honestly, I was not a racer just by raw talent.
Yeah.
I was honestly a little bit scared. I remember my first race, I had trouble getting up to the rest of the field and
sure.
being on their back bumper for the restarts because I didn't want to hit them and I didn't want to make anybody mad.
Well, you're nervous too.
Yeah,
first
and then the nerves kick in and it's just a little bit hard. But I got over that, and I finally won my first race in 2006 in the go-karts.
Yeah.
And from there, we worked really hard. We went to a couple national events in Iowa. And then in 2011, we got our first micro sprint. And that was a huge struggle, too. I didn't think I was ever going to win in a micro sprint or a big car in general.
Yeah.
It's just so different compared to anything that you're ever used to growing up.
So you've traveled over the nation. I know you did some racing in California and Iowa, you just said.
Yeah, we've gone as far as Iowa. California was a lot of fun this past year with the micro. Really,
even some asphalt over in California for a few.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with the asphalt side. I figured if I was ever going to have a chance in, running NASCAR, that I was going to have to eventually transform into the asphalt side of things,
right? And
work towards having a career that was also brought up with asphalt realm. And in 2012, I was hired on to the Ron Sutton's driver development program out there.
Yep.
And I ran some USAC midgets.
That's right.
And after that, I ran some modifieds out there too. We
ran
decent. I mean, it wasn't. I'm not the best asphalt
driver.
It
was more of a learning experience.
But it was a huge learning experience, and it helped a lot.
That's good.
And yeah.
You got to keep a variety because racing, there's such a variety.
Yeah, and then most recently, I've had a couple opportunities to jump in some sprint cars.
That's awesome.
Have yet to get my first win, but we're working hard at it, and
you got to start somewhere.
And trying to nail down some more sprint car deals here in the near future.
Yeah, you've been doing it for a minute, so we'll see where it takes you in the next couple years.
Yeah. So how about you? How did you get into racing?
Honestly,
what made you fall in love with it?
As far as I can remember, it just being on the TV, seeing the M&M's car, Elliott Sadler back then in 2003. So I don't know. I always enjoyed some off-roading, like trophy trucks, supercross. So never really raced myself, but I enjoy helping out friends. I'm actually helping out Jason on the Lucas Oil Modified Series.
That's right. Yeah, you're the tire specialist.
I'm the tire
guy,
right? Yeah. And our new season's coming up here in early March 10th, I believe.
Yeah, why don't we take a look at the schedule real quick? Yeah, it looks like March 10th, you guys are going to go down to Havasu.
Yep. That's
95 Speedway. Track. That's in Lake Havasu, Arizona. And then from there, you guys go on to Tucson Speedway. And then over to the Bullring, which is a really, really fun track.
Yeah, they have a nice facility there.
Yep, and then over to Madera, June 9th, June 30th, Kern County Raceway, Bakersfield, California.
I love that track.
That's the biggest track you guys go to,
I want to say that's probably my favorite track. It's new. They probably built that, 4 years ago?
Yeah, 4 or 5 years ago, something like that.
And you go and you get in the...
beautiful.
Yeah, once you get in the infield, it's huge. You see the bank of that racetrack, and it looks like a wall all the way around you. So those cars carry some speed. It's pretty fun.
What's the funniest thing that's happened on the tour so far?
Oh, definitely radio communications with Randy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And for those of you who don't know, Randy is Jason's dad, also the spotter on the number 9.
Yep.
Oh, man.
He contributes a lot. I gotta tip my hat to that dude. He works overtime
Is it different working with radios? I know it's something that a lot of drivers don't get to do, and especially with crew members.
Yeah, it's new for me because I've never done anything without radios or with radios before
It's
this.
a huge tool, though.
It is a very huge tool because you can definitely fill the driver in on things he doesn't know that are super helpful, whether it's spotting the car inside or outside of him during the race or just anything.
Yeah, that's something that really was hard for me to adjust to also with my asphalt
do you
racing.
use those now in dirt? Do they allow those now?
No
Do you think they
radios
will?
in dirt. I sure hope not.
Because they let Legends do it real recently, within the last year.
Mm-hmm.
So you would think some smaller...
Yeah, I sure hope they never do that with dirt. I mean,
really?
It's hard enough to pass those idiots
True.
as it is right now, especially with
honestly,
how the tracks go sometimes.
Dirt racing is so dicey, it's hard to predict what they're going to do. So spotting for you would definitely be a challenge.
Yeah, man, it'd be very interesting if we ever got radios in the car. I'm sure I'd probably rip my radio out, to be honest with you, if I had either Jim or my dad, because
that would be a disaster.
One little mistake, even if I win, one little mistake, and I wouldn't hear about it, I wouldn't hear the end of it, rather, for 3-4 laps.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I'd probably end up ripping it out anyway.
We should put some clips of your driving. If when you get mad, you throw your hands up.
Yeah,
it is
that
the
is the
funniest
signature
thing.
Spencer Hill, throwing your hands up in the air
or
like
the
this.
finger out the window. You gotta let them know.
Sometimes I've let my short temper get the best of me. I gotta admit.
Yep, happens.
Well, why don't we take a look at some things that have happened here more recently. I know the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series were just in Atlanta, where Kevin Harvick had a hell of a weekend out there.
Oh, yeah. Xfinity and Monster.
Mm-hmm.
He got her done.
Yep, he started out with the Xfinity Series there. It was, of course, a doubleheader with the Truck Series. And Harvick, he flat dominated.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday's event. There were
They came
9
prepared.
250 over there. He led 141 of 163 laps, won both stages, and beat Joey Logano, of all people, who was also a pretty good shoe down there.
Oh, he was quick.
By 4.183 seconds.
Yep.
And he backed it right up in the Cup Series, too, where he was able to take the victory in another pretty much dominating fashion. It looked like he was just screwing with those guys.
I know, right?
I couldn't believe...
A little too easy.
A little bit too easy,
What do you think about Denny's strategy? Denny and Logano, right?
So, Logano and Denny's strategy was really interesting because I don't necessarily think that they knew... I don't think that Wheels went for that strategy because he wanted to, for sure win the race. I don't think they understood, just how fast Kevin Harvick was. But I think it was a really good strategy to get them a better finish than what they were. Because they were about a 10th place car all day.
Yeah.
But when they ran that 2-pit strategy rather than 3, it definitely helped their position quite a bit. So yeah. I gotta give it to them. That's pretty good.
I was pretty surprised. 5 Fords in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool to see.
Yeah, Ford they're on fire right now. You know who's not on fire? Jimmy Johnson.
No.
He's having a rough season right now.
Last year wasn't the best for him either.
No, he's buried right now.
Of course, some bad luck, but...
Yeah, it's hard to say that you get 4 wins and you have a rough season. Right. But that's Jimmy Johnson for you and Chad Knaus.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting, though. Jimmy Johnson buried in 35th place.
What do you think about Bubba recently?
Bubba?
2nd place at Daytona.
Doing good. He's doing good.
He was
I don't think that all the hype is legitimate, though.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
What is the hype?
I think once everybody saw him,
like, oh, he's the new Kyle Busch, or he's going to be good here, he's going to be good there.
I just think people have really high expectations after that Daytona finish.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think that Richard Petty Motorsports as an organization is quite there yet.
That's fair.
So it's going to be kind of hard for him to fill those expectations, I think.
We'll see what happens. Who knows?
But yeah, no, for sure it's going to be... It's going to be good for both organizations. I know Eric Almirola, he's going to do good over there at Haas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how good he's going to do. I don't think he's going to contend with his 3 teammates exactly, but he's going to do better for sure. Yeah.
He's in good equipment.
So here's something that's pretty interesting to me, though, Mick. What do you think the charter system has done in NASCAR? In Atlanta, it was the lowest car count entry in the NASCAR Cup Series since, I think it was 1996. They only had 36 entries, and a full field's 40 cars.
Yeah, I would say NASCAR is not really happy about it,
I disagree with you there.
Well,
no, I disagree because I think NASCAR is happy with that. I think that's exactly what they wanted when they put the charter system in. I think what they want is 36 of those premier teams entered, and I don't think that they want any open teams to even compete.
Okay.
Because it just makes no sense, both financially and just on a common sense basis. There's no reason for open teams to even go anymore. I mean, hell, in Las Vegas this weekend, there's only going to be 37 teams entered.
Wow.
And that's also really, really low for... I mean, granted, it's a mile and a half.
Right.
Daytona, there was only 40, and that's the Great American Race.
Exactly. Everybody goes to Daytona.
So, do you think that the charter system has helped because the quality of the cars that are coming to the track every weekend is better? Or do you think it's hurt because a small team, like the Joe Nemechek team, the Carl Longs, are having a harder time showing up to the track and being competitive?
I definitely, honestly, both. That's a good point. At first, I looked at it as the smaller teams like racing that you would do or Jason would do, and the bigger car count they get, obviously the facility is going to do a lot better, right? They're going to bring in more money, more people, and the name's going to get out there. So I would think NASCAR would like more teams to show up, more money for them, but you say that's probably not the case.
For me, I think it's an issue. I think that when you have that few cars showing up to the racetrack, it's not good for growth in the sport. But of course, that's just my opinion.
Right.
Has the quality, increased? Yeah, it
Absolutely.
has. It has.
Yeah.
Another really, really cool story this weekend came from Brett Moffitt winning his race,
Truck
the first
series.
ever race for that HRE team with that 16 truck. That was really exciting too. Of course, Kyle Busch looked like he had it won until that pit mishap when he pulled in the pits and
he wasn't too happy
went
about
off
that
the
one.
jack on the right side when that left rear tire wasn't even on yet. Definitely did not look happy. Busch ended up 21st, 2 laps down after pulling off, and Brett Moffitt picked up the win in the Active Pest Control 200 by 1.326 seconds over Noah Gragson, who led earlier in the event.
I thought Kyle Busch had that race won.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah.
You can't...
Everybody saw that a mile away.
I just think it was one of those deals where, Kyle was sitting in the truck.
Yeah.
He was looking in his mirror, looking at his crew working on the car, looking in the mirror, looking at the crew.
Yeah.
The stop wasn't happening quick enough. And once that jack dropped on the right side, I don't know whether crew chief said it, he decided. Regardless.
Got a little impatient maybe.
The impatience was there.
Yeah.
And someone screwed up because that left rear tire did not last very long. It lasted about 200 feet down the track. Fell right off. And that's just something that you got to be careful with. You just can't let
definitely
your
not
emotions get the
nerves
best of
from
you.
him because it's a breeze. The truck series for him, I would say, is a breeze these days. He shows up and just flat out dominates.
He does. Some other cool races that happened this weekend was with the Monster Energy Supercross. They went to Tampa for the first time in 19 years with Eli Tomac getting the victory in that.
Yeah. That was
really
pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, really good battle with Marvin Muskin over there with the KTM team. And, of course, Jason Anderson, local shoe from New Mexico.
Yeah, Edgewood.
Still in the lead in points over there by 39 points over Muskin.
Yep.
And also, Chad Reed was able to make history this past weekend in breaking the record for all-time starts with 228.
Wow.
Can you imagine that? 228
What a
starts.
milestone.
That is a milestone, and he's still not slowing down.
No.
He still has a lot left in the tank.
That's a veteran for sure.
So that's something that we'll definitely have to keep a look at as we go on to round 9. That's going to happen March 3rd.
Atlanta.
At Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
That's a new stadium. Have you seen that?
I haven't.
They totally rebuilt that. It's a beautiful stadium. I don't know what the price was, but they spent some bucks.
I'm looking forward to that one. That's going to be a cool one.
We'll have to put a picture up for that one. Then,
those guys are just... Aren't they incredible?
Right?
I mean...
They can...
I tried that arena cross race.
Little 230.
Over the winter on that little 230 on Jim's bike. Of course, got to thank Jim for letting me run that.
Right.
It was probably more comedy relief for him than anything. Holy shit.
What an experience, though.
That was crazy. I have never been so winded after 3 laps. And I've been working hard in the gym this off season.
Yeah.
And that straight wore me out. Those guys are in such impeccable shape.
They are.
That they can just go for 20 minutes straight in a main event and just act like nothing
They got
happened.
some serious stamina, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. It's just, that was incredible.
Especially in Tampa, that sand section, that's got to be tough.
Yeah,
just
the
like
sand.
getting stuck and getting right back on your bike and digging through it.
Yeah,
Damn.
not that I'm, anywhere close to a true arena cross rider, but I do trail ride in my free time, and that stuff
that wears you out.
It's such good cross training. That's the main reason I do it. It's fun too, but the cross training in it is incredible.
You're definitely active, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. So, let's see what else we got. World of Outlaws, the sprint car series, they head over to the dirt track at Las Vegas Motor Speedway this weekend.
Yeah.
It's a paired event with the NASCAR series.
That'll be
over
exciting.
there, so that's going to be really cool. Donnie Schatz's on fire over there right now, early in 2018. He just came off of a win in the Dirt Car Nationals after exchanging slide jobs with Jason Johnson for his 250th career World of Outlaws Craftsman Sprint Car Series win. 250 wins. We were just talking.
Could you imagine just winning 50?
We were just talking about
or
Chad Reed making history in Supercross with 228 starts.
He has.
Donnie Schatz has 250 wins.
I know, that's insane.
How incredible is that? I mean, I don't know of any stat that is that incredible, and he's not slowing down anytime soon either. He still has plenty left in the tank.
He'll probably surpass 300 in his career.
Oh yeah, easy.
Easy.
He's well on his way.
Yeah, which is insane.
Honestly, he probably has the ability to do that, in the next year and a half.
I would say.
Also, down there in Florida, Sheldon Hanschild captured his first win in the opening night of the World of Outlaws. This is their 40th season, by the way. 40 seasons for the World of Outlaws down there.
Wow.
And he was able to pass Paul McMahon on lap 27 after a late race restart. And that was a really cool story. This is a new team for Hanschild. He's now racing the Stenhouse Jr. Marshall Racing number 17.
That's pretty cool.
NOS Energy sprint car. And that's just really cool. He's been working at it hard the last couple of years.
So good for him. You gotta appreciate the hard work and see some results.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. What's your schedule look like for this year?
So our schedule is looking pretty good this year. No sprint car stuff yet. All micro stuff as of right now. But we're gonna start out the season here pretty soon. It's gonna start on the 23rd of March. That's going to go down in Oklahoma City at I-44 Riverside Speedway. From there, we're going to run down to Las Cruces really quick. And in the month of May, big race coming up in Garden City, Kansas at Airport Raceway. I'm really looking forward to that.
Are you?
Not quite as much as I'm looking forward to this year's running of California Speed Week, though. We're going to be running that June 26th through June 30th.
It's right around your birthday.
And right before my birthday. That's why I'm extra excited about it. That'd be a really, really cool birthday present.
Get a win for yourself.
Bring home a bear.
Right.
And so, that's a really cool event, too. We go from Dixon, California to Stockton, California. Short break. And then we head over to Visalia. And then we round it out with Lemoore, California for the final night. Really, really cool event down there. Awesome people. And really just, you learn so much in 4 days.
Oh, yeah.
I probably learned more in 4 nights of racing down there than I had in my, entire career, really, up to this point.
That's awesome. Well, that's good.
So then, we run a couple more races in New Mexico and Arizona, and we round out our season November 23rd and 24th at Canyon Speedway Park in Phoenix, Arizona. Another track I like quite a bit.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. That's going to be a really, really fun year.
Sounds like a busy schedule.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been to that Oklahoma Speedway, that I-44 before?
Haven't been there yet.
So that'll be interesting.
Heard a lot of really good things about it.
Is it a shorter track, 3/8 or what?
No, way shorter than 3/8. You can't find a track pretty much anywhere but New Mexico.
Oh, really?
That's smaller, bigger than a quarter mile.
Okay.
Everything's quarter mile and below.
Really?
So really tight racing, fun
yeah.
bull ring stuff out there. Really looking forward to getting out there and finally getting back to the seat. It's been a while, Mick.
I know, man.
It's been crazy.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Exciting year.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna be busy. It's gonna be hard to find time to do this, but we'll make it work.
Oh, we'll make it work.
Wheels Up Wednesday.
If we don't, get booted for some stupid reason or get kicked out of our studio.
Yeah, we'll see.
See what Chuck Nasty has to say about that.
It's only podcast 1, so.
Yeah, still a little bit early.
Yeah, man. Well, what else do you want to talk about?
How about some more local stuff, or regional rather? I know NASCAR Pro Series East. They're heading over to the Zombie Auto 150 at Bristol Motor Speedway on April 14th. That's going to be a really good event too.
Nice.
That's also a paired race with the Cup Series. They just got back from Florida also.
Do they do that on purpose? Pair it with NASCAR to get more people?
Oh, you have to. Yeah, you have to.
Okay.
They struggle quite a bit.
Like Vegas was going to do.
Mm-hmm. They struggle quite a bit with getting the crowd to show up for just a single event. But when you pair it especially at a track like Bristol
you get a better
Speedway,
head count for sure.
You get a much better head count.
Yeah,
for sure. And also with the K&N Pro Series West, their next race is actually going to be at Kern County Raceway Park for the Bakersfield 175 presented by Napa Auto Parts, and that's on March 15th. So that's coming up pretty soon.
Yep.
Should be pretty exciting. Pretty exciting stuff. So, Mick, one last question, I had.
Hit me. Don't make it too hard.
Why did you get a gun pulled on you this week?
Oh, well, I don't know. Me and Chris...
Could it have anything to do with your shitty driving?
Oh, no, not at all. So me and Chris went to the gym, and we were headed back, and obviously I was driving. That's probably why. But...
Issue number one,
yeah. And this dude passes me, and he slams on his brakes. Throws up his hands.
Of course, your horn doesn't work anymore.
Right. Right.
Is there any relation as to why your horn doesn't work, or is that just...
Overused, probably.
A little bit of overuse, yeah.
Yeah, and Chris says, oh, he's got a gun. So I was like, what? And I didn't see it. And so I pulled up beside him, and sure enough, pointed right at me. So I backed her down, didn't do anything stupid, but definitely probably the craziest experience besides.
And that wasn't even the only road rage that day, was it?
No, it wasn't. But
didn't you say another guy came and brake checked you after that?
He did, yeah. It's interesting driving.
Is that not a clue?
No.
That you should probably slow your roll just a little bit?
I should, with all the tickets.
Well, it doesn't help that your van literally says Matt's Mobile Detailing.
Big
with
phone
your
number.
phone number on it. And your website where you could definitely just find your address any time of the day.
I'm pretty easy to find, so if I piss you off, you might be knocking on my door.
Crazy son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to do it for our first episode of Wheels Up Wednesday. We made it.
We did.
I think I only threw one F-bomb. That's pretty good for me.
That's not bad. We'll see what the next one holds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you guys for listening. Make sure you guys leave a comment. Let us know what you guys want to hear next on the next episode, if there's a next episode. If nobody watches it, I might just sell all this equipment.
Just scrap it.
I don't know. I do need tire money. So, just let us know. Thank you guys again. This is Wheels Up Wednesday. I'm Spencer Hill.
That's
Matthew Omick. Good night.